For well over a decade, Marvel spun us a lie that claimed hashtag it's all connected, and that everything Marvel in live action is part of a interconnected Marvel Cinematic Universe. This of course first started with Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. picking up after the events of Iron Man 3 and the Avengers, and continued with the Marvel Defender shows, which of course included Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and The Punisher, and even reached as far as Hulu and ABC Freeform, which included The Runaways and Cloak and Dagger. But now we can officially say that this entire thing was a lie and nothing more than that. So this all stems from the brand new book about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which has a chronology of everything that's happened in the MCU, since the beginning of time up until the latest projects in the last year. And they literally make sure to go over everything, including minor little details that are, well, not really that important, but again, they are little details that add more context to the universe and building it out. So this new book, which is called Marvel Studios, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, an Official Timeline, goes into a lot of details, a lot of them obscure. Now, I've already talked about the fact that there was some questions I raised about this whole thing, due to the fact that they show us splash pages of the events of Age of Ultron, and we know that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. season surrounding that whole film literally leads directly into it, explains how Nick Fury got the helicarrier and all that, some of the fallout of Hydra, where they've been hiding and all that, talking about the icebox where Abomination was kept. Well, that book never mentioned any of that, but people figured, okay, maybe it's in a separate location. Well, now people are getting their hands on the book, and obviously the big star of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is Phil Coulson. So if they're going to be talking about anything, well, Phil Coulson is obviously going to be the star of it. And the only mentions in regards to Phil Coulson in the entire book are, unfortunately, only his movie appearances. There is no mention of anything related to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there's no mention to the Chromicons, there's no mention of Ghost Rider, there's no mention of anything that happens in anything in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Going further into it, no mentions of The Runaways, Iron Fist, Punisher, Cloak and Dagger, Daredevil, none of it has been discovered with this Amazon preview or anything like that. So a lot of people are looking at this and reaching the conclusion none of the TV stuff is canon. Now, realistically, we do gotta wait for the full book to come out on the 24th of October, but I do think that this is pretty telling, considering that there's a preview out. Some people are able to kind of, look into it, do some searches and all that, and the mentions of specific characters and events are nowhere to be seen, and only specific movie things are mentioned and in depth. So, again, it looks like I think everybody by the time this book is out, and when it's out, is going to realize that, yeah, the MCU, the concept of the MCU that we were sold on, watch all this because it's important, is essentially a lie. Do I care? Not too much. No, it doesn't really bother me. It really doesn't, but I could see why people are going to be really irked. To me, it's so far past that I don't even care. Like, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter. It can all still be canon, they just don't have to reference it, and that's the way I look at it. But if this would have come out back in the day, there'd be a lot more upset people, because people would have felt like, oh, I'm watching this because, well, I thought it was a thing that was going to be important, but now it's a lie, and I feel cheated. Coming at us like 5 years after all of it ended, it's not so much of a hit. Back then, it would have been a big deal. So, yeah. The whole concept of the cinematic universe and it's all connected, it's BS.